Miami's a really, really good basketball team. Jim has put together a bunch of guys that fit. Uh, they remind me of some of the teams we've had where they're athletic. They shoot the ball very well from the perimeter. Got an undersized center that's strong and physical, like a big, strong guy, and he's athletic, like a wing player. They create so many problems for you to defend because they're athletic enough to take you off the bounce, and because they're so quick and athletic, and then they shoot at a high clip from three. I mean, 65% from the field goal the first half, 56% from three. I mean, that's who they are. I mean, night in and night out. First half, we just wasn't ready. We just mentally struggled with that combination of quickness and speed and athleticism, and they actually were really at a higher level of intensity and focus than we were. We didn't get better the second half at halftime. We didn't get an extra amount of ability thrown at us. I thought we changed our mindset. We're more determined. I thought we executed a lot better. We gave up on 10 turnovers. Gosh, they scored 10 turnovers. They scored 16 points on our turnovers and 18 points in transition. And most of it was point-blank layups where we couldn't figure out who's supposed to get back on defense. Second half, we turned the ball over one time, took care of the ball a lot better. I thought we executed a lot better. And our guys played with a lot more focus, and we were able to chip away at the lead. We just kind of, anytime you up 25 points on a team, and we weren't giving very much resistance at all, then you expect the team to have a little bit of a letdown, because, gosh, it was like taking candy from a baby in the first half. And so we adjusted the second half mentally, emotionally, executed very well, took care of the ball, and a lot of things our kids did don't necessarily show up in the statistical column. I thought Barbara Miller's length and his ability to contest shots made a huge difference there in the second half. And I thought we did a much better job guarding them off the dribble. And they didn't get as many of those uncontested layups that they drove in, the 18 points at the basket. And I think they might have scored 20-some points in the lane the first half. We just made the adjustment. But this does not say anything negative necessarily about Miami. I think they'll be. I would hate to play them in the NCAA tournament because it's hard to prepare for who they are. Obviously, they missed Pac, and I know exactly how Jim feels because I'm missing 5, and sometimes I miss 6 during the course of the year, and it's hard to adjust sometimes when you lose important parts of your team. And I mean, I got 5 guys I thought would be on my team this year, and 2 of them over there with ACL. So this is a time of learning and growing for us. These challenges we have to overcome, but while we are going through this period of adjustment with who we are, we got to be strong and learn. And we learned a lot in this particular game by just executing, hunking down, defending, and taking care of the ball. Any questions?
Leonard, just talk about the second half. You guys, it was just a spectacular offensive game. You were able to spread your 3 wings out with Cleveland and Green and Mills, and they just couldn't guard you guys. After struggling so much in the first half, it was like a 360-degree swing. And you've been around a long time, but that was a fairly remarkable second 20 minutes by your guys' offense.
Well, we did not tell them anything at halftime that we did not tell them before the game started. It's just that we locked in and executed better spacing. We were in more of a downhill mode. We set better screens, and we took care of the ball. So we just repeated at halftime what we told them before the game, and they just locked in and executed the second half, and we didn't quite have that level of focus the first half. But, you know, not making any excuses. I mean, there are times I had 3 freshmen out on the floor at one time, and I was a little nervous about that, but they held their own and executed very well, and probably played a little above where they should be playing it with such less experience.
But like you said, you guys have lost 20, all banged up. You're down 25. Teams don't win this game. They don't. They let it get away. Why did your group decide that they weren't going to let go of the this game?
This particular year, we're not coaching any different than we have been coaching. This is the first time we've had no 3rd and 4th year players on my team. I have all 1st and 2nd year players. We're still teaching kids how to get over the top of a screen, you know, and how to defend the post. I mean, it's amazing to me that we're still repeating things in February, the last part of February, almost March, that we thought we had taught during the summer, in the spring, summer, in the fall. But that's kind of who we are this particular year. But I do think that we have a better idea of who we are, and we don't have very much room for error with this team. We don't protect the rim that much, but I think we blocked six shots, I believe, and maybe 4 or 5 of them in the second half. I mean, so we just kind of growing up a little bit, you know. Really, we've taken our lumps, and you know, it's interesting that we're using the same philosophy that we've been using. It's not quite working with this edition of FSU basketball. But we showed a little bit about who we are and how we've been in the past, and hopefully this will be something that we can grow with.
Coach, in a weird way, are you kind of, I mean, I know taking the wins and losses out, in a weird way, are you kind of enjoying a group like this where you can teach?
No, I'm not enjoying this because I feel totally responsible for the position that we're in. As a coach, you need to understand that people will do what they feel is best for them. And I feel guilty that I didn't maybe take a little bit more time and explain to a couple of guys that decided they graduated and they deserve the right to go in and realize their dream, but they're coming off a year of injuries. That I thought the wise thing was, you know, for them to maybe take the COVID year and improve everything, but that it's not for me to say, you know. And I think I was thinking logical about what's best for them and for us, and I don't think I articulated that correctly. And I didn't expect to lose Butler. I thought that he would be back and have 2 ACLs. So I had a plan, but I didn't prepare myself for the unexpected. And I can't blame anybody because the buck stops with me. Now, I got the memo, okay, and we'll make the necessary adjustments moving forward. But I can't. You know, this is the first time we've had to go with 1st and 2nd year players, and you know, sometimes as a coach, you think maybe you really doing a good job teaching when you got those juniors, those 3rd and 4th year players on your team, and you think, you know, you got it going on. But when you get some 1st and 2nd year players, maybe not those of the one and done level, now all of a sudden you realize how important experience and age and maturity is to your team. And this team will be a little better as we move forward, and we'll make the adjustments that we need. So I'm proud of these guys because I saw them following instructions, communicating, and playing with a purpose, offensively and defensively. The execution was flawless. And defensively, I thought that we stepped up and did all the things that we've been working on. And against a really, really good team. I mean, you can be, the people in Miami they don't understand how hard it is to play against University of Miami because they can hurt you at 4 spots. And they spread the floor, and sometimes they have, you know, they play 5 out, and the lanes, the gaps are so wide, and they have guys they was driving from the wing and with such explosiveness that it kind of took us back on our heels a little bit. We adjusted mentally at halftime, but they've done this to a lot of people. We are very, very fortunate to come out here with a victory.
Coach, those last two possessions when Jordan Miller hits a go-ahead three, and then you guys end up putting it in the game. Just what were your thoughts and what's going through your mind?
Well, we work on last-second shots all the time, and it didn't make sense for us to call timeout because you would have given them an opportunity to set their defense. And so we play off of that, and believe it or not, we work on half-court long shots every day. It's kind of the fun part of practice where we have guys come across half-court putting up those shots. So we do it all the time. But Matthew has a focus. I thought his body language, his energy, our kids fed off his energy. He had a different look in his eye. We missed it in the last two games. I didn't know he was going to play until yesterday. And Caleb Mills was a little bit under the weather. So this is kind of who we are. It seems like everything that could go wrong this year, we're dealing with it. But I think we're learning from it. We're growing from the challenge that we had. And what we did in the last few minutes was what we work on an awful lot. That, with 4.6 seconds, I think it was on the clock, I believe, it didn't make sense to try to take the ball out and give them a chance to set the defense.
Coach, can you talk on the environment? Because with younger guys on the squad, sometimes coming into these hostile environments can be a little hard. But it was rally crowd in the first half, and then y'all really shut them up early there in that second.
Well, I think what happens, that probably had a little effect on our players, but we've been playing because of how well we played on the road and people in the past. We feel like people are looking forward to a kind of us coming to their home this year. We've gotten, I'm listening to the people in the stands. A lot of people know me from being down here for so long. They let me know what the intentions were at the beginning of the game, and that's part of it. That's what makes a crowd, that motivates the home team. And I'm just so proud of when I come in here and I realize that I know where they started. I know where we started many years ago. And to have a sold-out crowd and have the fans, all involved, that's just beautiful to watch. And a lot has to do with the great job that Jim has done, bringing in the kind of players that's fun to watch. The system is fun to watch every night, and they have the players to match their system. I mean, I think they play tremendously unselfish, and we just kind of caught them in the second half with us playing a little better than what we have been playing, and they were up so much there in the first half. I'm sure that most of us and everybody who watching on TV and everybody in the place didn't think there was we were the only people who thought we could come back and give us a chance to win. So, but by no means, I just want to emphasize that you're very fortunate to have a program like this, a team like this, and I expect them to go far in the NCAA tournament.
Leonard, talk about the rivalry. You've been part of it on both ends. The Miami-Florida State rivalry of basketball and football is a big deal.
For me personally, in being in the ACC, I try very hard not to allow one game to be more important than the other. Because when you do that, you have the highs and lows, and I think that's a little bit of what we're facing this year. We don't understand that if you're not mentally and emotionally engaged with each game you play and don't give everybody the proper respect, something bad can happen to you. And I try to be matter of fact. I don't try to blow one team up more than another. The rivalry speaks for itself, but I try to approach every game the same way. That you and when you start making one game more important than the other, it's hard sometimes when a national ranked team coming in, you're on national TV, your emotions and everything get involved, but that's sometimes is not what you want your team the mindset to be, if you're a coach, you want to try to come out and play well against everybody. The ACC is not like it used to be. It used to be where the same two top teams, two or three teams, were always at the top. And I remember when we were looking about adding Syracuse and Pittsburgh and Notre Dame and Boston College, and I told when we had a meeting that we could expect those teams at the top to pull those other teams up. And there's a lot more parity in the league. And now that with the NIL and the portal, you know, teams can not be as talented but be older, more matured, stronger physically. And they can sometimes be more successful against a much more talented, younger team who's still growing and developing. And so it's evening things out. And you can expect moving forward for the ACC to be up for grabs with whoever is playing well in that particular year. No longer are you going to see one particular team dominate like it has been in the past, one or two.